Alright, gang, that was Lights Out from Charetta from their A Nation Distracted EP, and we are on the verge of an apocalypse from Charetta coming very soon. But right now on the phone with me from Charetta is Richard Mollo and Pablo LaFrossia right now on the phone here with me inside the asylum. What's happening, guys?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Thank you guys for taking time out to join me tonight here inside the asylum. And why don't we get to the basics right off the gate, because I know a lot of people here in the New York area know about Charetta, and there's still people around the country and around the world wondering about you guys that have heard Charetta on this show. So why don't you give everyone a little bit of a background, tell everyone what Charetta is and what they maybe should know about you guys that they don't really know from when I played you guys.
Well, what does Charetta mean? I think every week we kind of make it up and come up with something new. So let's see, Rich, what this week, what's the meaning of Charetta this week?
It's a virus that makes you strip naked and eat people's faces off.
I think we used that one already. I think
but that's my favorite.
That's your favorite? Okay. So there you go. That's what Charetta means. It's a virus that eats people's faces.
That's good. That's creative. Very creative, and definitely a great way to get people's attention. And, you guys have been going for a long time now. I mean, I can't believe you guys have been around since
7 years, right, Rich?
7 years. Actually, I just had an idea now you mentioned that. We always put our catchphrase as it sounds like Alanis Morissette punching Chevelle in the face, but we should say it sounds like some wild dude stripping naked and eating people's faces off while listening to Chevelle.
We can probably say maybe it's Alanis Morissette eating Chevelle's faces off.
Yeah, it sounds like Alanis Morissette eating Chevelle's face off.
There you go. That's Charetta. Okay, we got it.
There you go. Everyone, brand new catchphrase right there for Charetta, born right here inside the asylum. And so, I mean, you guys have just been tearing ass here in the New York area since '07, and both albums are just absolutely amazing. And really, you guys are on the verge of releasing the Apocalypse. And how did we get to this point with Charetta where you guys have come up with Apocalypse as your next album?
Charetta sounds like a band tearing ass during the apocalypse.
I like that. Yeah, we can go with that one.
What was the question? Did you catch it, Pablo?
Well, basically, how you guys came to, writing Apocalypse, and how you guys came up really with the album title for it, because it is a very unique album title.
I think it kind of follows from the last album, from the last EP, which was basically like an apocalypse was coming, and even the cover of our last EP, A Nation Distracted, has a picture of Angela, kind of like putting on makeup, where in the background, like the whole world's like coming to an end. And I guess we kind of just continue with that theme, where now the apocalypse is here, which is one of the songs, title songs, the apocalypse is here. So I guess we kind of just kept going with the theme.
Yeah.
Right? What do you think, Rich?
Yeah, it kind of developed during the Nation Distracted as we were doing shows and trying to develop something. And let's take it another step further.
I don't think it's like a concept album or a concept EP, where kind of like every song has to do about apocalypse. I think we just wanted to go with just the overall theme of the EP and the covers and the titles and whatnot.
Would you guys say it's kind of a sequel? I mean, I hate to go the the movie route in regards to referring to the album, but would you guys almost consider it a sequel or even a part two from where A Nation Distracted left off?
It was actually, I think there was a thought that happened at some point because when we did A Nation Distracted, it was our first time with Mike Watts at Voodoo Studios, and we did the first EP, and then the follow-up was also with Mike Watts. So we said, it was going to be a kind of a similar style, and that they might mesh together at some point. But there was talk of maybe putting it together and making like a bonus package with 2 EPs and additional songs. But then at the end we decided, these are 2 standalone products and they're kind of unique, so we left them apart.
Very cool.
Like today, a lot of bands are putting out EPs. Like 4 songs, 5 songs EP. Especially because a lot of bands are financing them themselves. Although we did a Kickstarter project with this last one, but with the cost of recording and mixing and mastering and everything, it gets expensive. So I guess that's why you've seen a lot more of like 4 or 5 songs EPs rather than like full-length albums.
Well, yeah, the other angle to that too is that with the changing industry and everyone going digital and everyone's, you get one person that buys it from iTunes or buys a CD and then burns it into their computer, and then the next thing you know, half the world has it. So it makes it harder for you guys when it comes to putting it together. So I can understand, why you guys have gone that route. The one single that I've been playing from you guys a lot since I got it, that would be This Is Your Fall. And tell me a little bit more about that one and what that song means and how that one came together.
I think when we started writing that, it's funny how that one ended up being our first single because it ended up being the last song we recorded. And when we went into the studio,
it wasn't done.
Yeah, it wasn't done, and we actually presented our producer, other sets of songs. And this one just was like an idea, it wasn't like a completed song. And the producer liked the chorus, he said it was catchy and it had a nice hook. Go back, work on it, and then we did that. And then when we were ready to record, we had a full song, and it was the one that everyone pretty much liked. The producer really liked it, and we kind of pushed that one. That ended up being our first single.
Yeah, luckily this time around we had some time. We went in a month in advance for a pre-production session, and we spent the whole day, fleshing out the songs and deciding what we were going to record or not. So that gave us some time to, sit with the songs and make some adjustments instead of being rushed with studio time, like the day of the recording session beginning and then starting to work right away. We had some prep time in advance.
Now, during that prep time, did you guys kind of rework everything? Like, you guys brought in stuff individually that you had worked on prior to this, or was the writing done separately beforehand, or was it all done together and then that was just the kind of final piecing together of it?
I think this time around, we definitely had more of a band input, whereas early on, when we first started, I would bring some of the riffs, Andrew would put in some melodies, and then we kind of just iron it out the studio. But I think this time around, we all pretty much put our inputs and thoughts, and especially with Chris. Being the new guy, even though he's been in the band, 2 years now, I think he'll always be the new guy.
This was the first time that he was really able to step forward and chip in with a lot of writing, because he was pretty new in the band the last time we recorded, so most of those tunes were already mostly written. He was just adding in like additional parts.
Yeah, but this time around, Chris was a major part of the writing, and actually I pretty much kind of took a backseat, kind of like, I wanted, because I really wanted the album to have a different flavor, I guess you can say, to it, and a lot of you can hear a lot of Chris's influences, the music that he listens to, that he's into, and also just his writing style. You can hear it even more so on this, and I think you can truly say that this EP, it's really all of us, all of our influences. You can really hear it. It comes out, and after playing together for 7 years, I think we pretty much we would come up with our own sound.
Well, that's another, interesting point I think about, knowing you guys have been around since '07 and playing you guys since I got started in internet radio is, with the exception of Ed and Chris to the lineup a few years ago, you guys have essentially been the same band from day one, and not a lot of bands, forget about locally, even in the mainstream, the major label bands can't really say that, even from when they got started. You always hear that the lineup that was on the first album that broke them wasn't the original lineup, and I'm wondering, what do you guys credit to that fact that 7 years later, essentially all you guys did was add Chris, in a way maybe adding a piece of the puzzle that was missing? What would you guys say kind of brings that to you guys, whereas so many others have unfortunately changed in that short amount of time?
We've outlasted most marriages. most of the bands are broken up and still have the marriages.
It's true. A lot of the local bands that we've played early on, not many of them are around, and really good bands that we kind of like love playing with. But it's funny what you mentioned about artists or bands who are signed to labels and they're touring, and then they break up or band members leave, and sometimes you look at that and they're like, here are these guys who struggle like we are, struggling, and they quote unquote make it, they get the label, they're touring, this is what they're doing full time, and then they walk away or anything. I just don't get it. Sometimes I really, every time you read it, about a band member leaving or a front person leaving, I don't get it. And as far as
I get it. It's very difficult. Even like I was saying with a marriage, getting two people to stick together and work through things, but putting like 5 different personalities and with that their different schedules and their family members and just trying to balance everything, it's extremely difficult. And it doesn't happen that often. Most people, they move on, they try things. Some people, maybe music isn't their top passion and they're just doing it trying to make money, but that doesn't happen very often,
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and you're right, Rich, when you say, and that you see more in like local bands or unsigned bands who have to still, support and provide for themselves and their family if they have families and whatnot. But when you look at like signed artists or signed bands who are being backed by the label and they're out there touring and this is their thing and whatever, when they break up or band members leave, it's like, sometimes I don't get it. It's like, you worked all this, your life for this, and then you're gonna walk away from it. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, you look at, take Disturbed for example. They were at the top of their game, and then they kind of decided, what, David Draymond's going to go do his thing with Device, and the other guys are going to do their thing with Fight or Flight. And you sit there and go, you're at the top of your game, and this is what you're doing. But yet here you guys are, 7 years later, or essentially all you've done is add Chris into that picture. And that might be him.
Hi, this is Angelina.
Oh, it's Angelina. She's come to announce she's starting the Angelina DelCarmen project.
She's starting a side project after 7 years. She's like,
Charetta is changing their name to Orifice.
I leave you alone for 5 seconds, Mollo, when you change the band name.
The 4 members other than yourself are creating a project called Orifice.
Sorry to make you move.
There we go.
Oh, sorry, I'm walking around.
There we go. See the amazing technology. That's why that little ding and that extra voice you guys now hear joining us here inside the asylum is none other than frontwoman Angelina DelCarmen of Charetta, joining Richard and Pablo and myself here inside the asylum. How are you, Angelina?
What did you say?
Yep. How are you? He said, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm sorry, I'm kind of in a loud place that's really hopping here. It's called Uno's.
Oh, cool.
Uno's?
That place, yeah.
So yeah, Uno's. Ever try it?
I think so.
So yeah, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing really good. Talking with the guys about your upcoming release of Apocalypse. I was just asking the guys, we were talking about how bands over the years have broken up or changed members, and here we are 7 years later for you guys, and you're still, with the exception of Ed and Chris within the last few years, you guys are essentially the same band members, and how rare that is, and wondering what you guys attribute to that factor that 7 years later essentially it's all the same unit.
I think we all really respect each other and are all passionate about the same thing. We're all on the same page about the music. Like, we all want it to succeed and to go out there and play our hearts out and work our butts off and have success. So, because we all have that same common goal, it's easy to get along. What do you think, Mollo?
Yeah, that's it.
Who else was on the call? I heard there were 3 callers.
Pablo.
Hi, Pablo.
Hi. I think you're right, and I think it shows on stage, and I think it shows in how we just present ourselves. So in our music, the consistency, shows in our stage presence and our performance, and also the fact that we all get along so well. And the funny thing is that before we got together for band, the only ones that knew each other prior to the band, it was me and Adonis.
Right.
We before Charetta was formed, I didn't know Rich, and I didn't know Angela, or Chris, and we've been all together, ever since. Like Rich said, like a marriage.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah, we said that. We're like,
It definitely is like it's like a very big commitment, and you don't take that kind of a commitment with people that you don't trust either. That's definitely a huge part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I've been lucky enough to see you guys several times live, and that trust is there. There's no awkwardness on stage. There's no sense of someone trying to outdo someone else, or impress another member to prove that you guys still need to be there. You guys work as one big unit, and I think that also too has a lot to show for what you guys have done over the last 7 years.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, we definitely. I mean, definitely the last year, I think we've come a lot closer together and definitely have that unit feel.
Yeah, definitely. I saw you guys last out on Long Island. It was Radio J's party. I believe it was out at Even Flow a few months back, and it had been a while since I had seen you guys prior to that, and I was there, and I realized kind of at that point that I knew you guys had kind of finally got to that point where you had your identity, and whatever was coming, being Apocalypse, was probably going to be the best thing you guys had put out since you guys got started 7 years ago.
I think you mentioned Radio J. This was I think it's his 5-year anniversary, right? Was that the last one that you saw us in?
Yeah, I believe that's what it was. It was his 5-year / going away party because he's now in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the even flow bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Radio J we're the only band that played 3 times at his show. He's really proud of that.
He was.
We can do that.
Yeah, he's a big supporter of you guys, as are all of us here at BullspikeRadio.com, and we love you guys from day one. We've been playing you guys so much, and I want to talk a little bit about the single that you guys recently released via your website. And for those of you who don't know, that would be Charetta.com. And that single is called I'm Not Your Bitch.
Yep.
I like the way he says it better than you.
Me?
Yeah.
I know, I gotta work on it, huh?
Well, I'm just saying, the way it hits me. I listened to it earlier today, and I was kind of like, okay, wow, if this song doesn't grab people's attention, I really don't know what does. I'm kind of wondering where this song came about in regards to the title and the writing of it, and what meaning may be behind it.
Sorry, what came from?
Yeah, when did you come up with it, the idea for it and stuff?
For the band?
No, I'm not your bitch.
7 years ago.
Oh! Sorry about that. I had to walk inside and give some guy some money. So I missed that whole part. Wow. I got yelled at actually yesterday for telling what I'm Not Your Bitch is about, so I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Who yelled at you?
You did.
Me?
You told me it was a shitty story.
No, boo. That was...
You're like, oh yes, I did do that.
Uh-oh, it sounds like I got...
Yes.
Sounds like I got Mollo on the spot now.
I know, right?
Ruining everything. Instead of leaving the band.
Maybe I can talk a little bit about the song and the meaning, and then I kind of can, set it up, and then you can kind of, jump in and
Okay, you set it up, and I'll knock it out.
All right, there you go. Perfect. Okay. I think not just with this song, but with every song, we interpret it. When we read the lyrics and the music, how it moves, we interpret it however we interpret it. In other words, like emotions or what we're going through at a time. And I think this song, it's a pretty unique song in the fact that because we have a female singer. And if this was let's say a song, in a male-fronted band or all guys, I don't think the title "I'm Not Your Bitch" would kind of go over well, especially for a front guy. But this is well, and I think it speaks to just a lot of not just the girls, but everyone who maybe is going through someone or in a situation where you do so much for people, you help out people so much, and then they either don't appreciate it or they take advantage of it. And I think and if it's family members or close friends, you just want to scream out and really say what the title of the song is, but you don't want to. And I think that's how I interpret it.
Sometimes you can't say it. So what we're gonna do? It was motivated by the song. We're gonna get one of those little Staples red buttons, and we're gonna have Angelina's voice on it. And if you feel like it, you just press that button and it says, "I'm not your bitch."
That's a great idea. Why didn't you tell me about it?
Can we sell those at our shows?
Yeah, that's it. I'm just getting all these great ideas.
Perfect.
You come up with all these good ideas. I definitely agree with what Pablo is saying, and I think the idea behind the song was to help build courage in people to stand up for themselves, you know. If it is saying I'm not your bitch, or if it's saying I quit, or I'm out of here, or whatever it is, I hope, you know, people get out of crappy situations they shouldn't have to be in.
It almost sounds like that, you know, the song I'm Not Your Bitch, it almost sounds like it goes hand in hand with the official Hate to Hate theme song, Bully, from A Nation Distracted. It almost sounds like those kind of, you know, go hand in hand with each other in regards to the world that we're in right now, where everyone's trying to take advantage of each other.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, and with a stronger title, you know, like an in-your-face kind of like title, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely see that, and as I said, I could see many people looking on iTunes or wherever it is they buy their music, and seeing a title of "I'm Not Your Bitch" and kind of just pausing and kind of having that moment of the little voice in your head going, I should download this, but I don't know why. And then once they hear it, they'll definitely know why. And while we're talking about what I'm Not Your Bitch and the other single that you guys had out earlier, This Is Your Fall, I'm wondering what else we should expect from you guys regarding the new album Apocalypse.
Maybe
Mollo, do you answer that one?
What more to expect from it? There's 5 tunes on there, and they're all pretty individual and unique. There's a ballad. There's the 2 songs you've heard. There's a couple other tunes which I won't divulge, but yeah, we gave a sneak preview with 2 singles released in advance, and then right now we're looking at releasing the full album on September 29th at we're going to do it at our show with iEmpire at Revolution in Amityville, Long Island, and then we'll have it available online and all, for sale in every format, CDs and digital download, whatever anybody wants. So only a couple more weeks to go, and then everybody will have it if they want it.
Very cool.
Everybody in the world will have it.
Yes, normally an apocalypse would be a bad thing, but in this case, it's something everyone should be looking forward to.
That's right.
Thank you, yeah.
Yes. And
the Charetta Apocalypse.
Charetta Apocalypse.
Charetta Apocalypse.
There you go. Put that on a t-shirt and you'll sell tons of them.
There you go.
Now, one also get from you guys is that, you know, as I said, you guys have been around for so long and you guys got the new album coming out. What's been the vibe for the new album? Because I know you guys have had some shows since the first single was released. I know you guys have been kind of teasing everyone at the live shows with some of the new songs. How's the feedback been for the new songs?
I think it's been great. I think people have been really surprised. I think the words more refined have come up. And the production on it, I think, is the best we've ever had. So it's really jumped through the speakers at you. And it's fun.
And I think what helped also was the Kickstarter project. You know, that the fans were able to contribute and help, you know, put together the best product that we can, you know, professional-wise. You know, and we were able to put a lot of money into it and really, like, just put out the best production that we can this time around.
Yeah, that was something else I wanted to ask you guys about, because that's kind of the way a lot of bands are doing things. And I remember when you guys first put it up, and then before I knew it, it seemed like you guys had met your goal. Were you guys kind of surprised at how quickly the Charetta Nation jumped in and to help you guys get what you needed to get this album, you know, together and out there?
We were pleasantly surprised because we didn't know how it would go. It was our first time trying that avenue. and it was a 30-day window that we did, so we wanted to get up there quick and see if we could get it done or not. And people really chipped in and helped us out. So we were skeptical because it was did I just say skeptical?
Yes, you did.
Because it was a new platform for us and something that is a growing trend. So, but it was us getting our feet wet in that avenue. And it definitely turned out to be a huge positive for us. And like I said, we went in there with a bunch of songs. I think we had 10 or so, and we didn't know how many we were going to record. But it turned out just right. The amount that we were able to raise was perfect to finance what we came up with, because we picked about half the songs, which were our solid and most best ones. So we got 5 quality tunes out of it. We're really happy with it.
So it sounds like you guys already might have the follow-up ready. Not that I'm rushing things. I don't want to rush things, but it almost sounds like you guys are pretty confident that you might have the next one ready to go once the apocalypse takes off and takes over the world.
I think there are plans for something, and we're kind of experimenting with what that is, so maybe we might want to just keep that one mum for a while.
Keep it on the back burner until we hear from Bull Spike Records.
I don't like the word back burner.
Oh, back burner.
How about on the DO, on the download?
On the DO.
On the fly.
On the fly.
You have in Alaska. I mean...
Right now we're really focused on releasing it, and it's been a while getting to this point where we got it all mixed and packaged, and got a couple singles out. So we're ready to put it out and release it. We've booked a bunch of dates we're going to announce soon. I think we have about 12 dates that we're going to do through the end of the year, and we're going to promote it as much as we can for the next couple months, and then we'll probably sit down again at the end of December or January and talk about what our next step is and what we're going to do going forward. But that's our focus right now as of this week.
Very cool. I mean, that's really the best way to do things nowadays. I mean, look, I look at it this way. If Five Finger Death Punch can take, and put 2 albums together in a year, I say everyone can do it. Especially you guys when you guys went in and you have 10, you got it down to 5. That means there's another 5 that is floating around waiting to be released.
That's right. You never know what's lingering in the world of Charetta.
And I would love to have Rob Halford, do a guest shot in one of our songs like Five Finger Death Punch did. I think that would be awesome, too. Think we can pull that off, Rich?
We can get Radio J. I don't know about Halford. Hey, it's Turbo. I got to jump off because I got to go. I got to get out of here, but I'll leave it in the hands of these 2 capable beauties.
No problem. Well, I know you got to run. We'll hang out a little bit more with Pablo and Angelina. Mollo, thank you for joining us, and I'll see you soon.
You got it. Talk to you soon, buddy. You got it. Take care.
All right. I don't want to keep either one of you two too much longer either, and just want to know if there's anything else you guys want to add and share to the world about Apocalypse and what is coming from Charetta in the very near future.
You just mentioned Apocalypse, and my phone battery is dying, and it's like this blinking, there's this like sound going off, and you just said Apocalypse, and I'm like, maybe Apocalypse is happening right now, and my phone's gonna explode or something.
Oh my God, Pablo.
So if I drop off suddenly, it's either because my battery died or the apocalypse came to my area.
One or the other, that's it. No in between.
Well, as I said before, why don't we then, we'll wrap this up for today. We'll make sure to get you guys back on again after Apocalypse has dropped. Just any last words from both of you regarding Apocalypse before we get out in this interview here.
Well, definitely thank you for having us. We appreciate the time, and we just hope that people enjoy it people can relate to the music, to the lyrics, and then just hopefully people keep supporting us so we can continue to do this for another 7 years and maybe longer.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you for having us.
It was my pleasure to have you here with me tonight inside the Asylum on Bull Spike Radio. And why don't we end this with going into the single that is out right now, and that is This Is Your Fall, the single from Apocalypse.
All right, yes.
Perfect one to go out with. Enjoy this one. We'll be back with more tunes in just a little bit.